Let's bring in News Nation's Joe Khalil, who was live for us there on Capitol Hill. Joe, we see a lot happening there behind you. When it comes to the protests so far, most are focused on the access given to Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE.
And that's the focus of this as well. Just to give you a scene setter, Nichole, we are right outside of one of the Senate office buildings, basically in the shadows here over my right shoulder of the Capitol. And you've got hundreds of people that are out here. I'm not sure that it's in the thousands, maybe not yet, but you've also got dozens of lawmakers. This is basically a big, giant circle full of people here. And you're right, the signs that we're seeing are things like protect USAID. We just heard a chant about Elon Musk. There is a lot of grievance here about the authority that he has been given. Certainly, we've got a lot of federal workers that we've heard from even here, and the lawmakers that are coming in and out. These are Democratic senators and House members, and they're talking about several things. The overall theme is, in their view, abuse of power and abuse of authority by the incoming Trump administration and by Elon Musk. And we've heard a lot also about Gaza and about the plans that President Trump laid out last night. Several lawmakers we talked to just within the last 20 minutes or so telling us they think not only is that a terrible idea, but they think it's actually illegal. Listen to what Senator Mark Warner said just a couple of moments ago.
Whether it is the folks who've been furloughed or the people who are taking potentially Trump's illegal buyout offer, which there is no funding for at all, to think twice. We've got to make sure we get the AID workers back, get AID reopened, because as Chris said, where this is being celebrated right now is Beijing.
So that's the theme here, as Senator Warner just laid out. And as we continue to walk through, again, you can see a lot of chants, a lot of energy here, a lot of people that are pretty angry about what they've seen so far from this administration. Not everybody is on that same page. This morning, we heard from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson in his regular weekly press conference today, specifically as it relates to Gaza. And again, he got a lot of questions today, but on the Gaza question, this is what he said in full defense of President Trump's plans he rolled out.
The initial announcement yesterday, I think, was greeted by surprise by many, but cheered by, I think, people all around the world. Why? Because that area is so dangerous, and he's taking bold, decisive action to try to ensure the peace of that region. It's a bold move, certainly, far bolder than what's been done before.
So throughout the day, we imagine we are going to get a lot of reaction on all of that. And I think the broader sense here, Nichole, is that at the beginning of this Trump 2.0, this new administration, I think there was a sense among Democrats on Capitol Hill that the quote-unquote, resistance that we saw in 2016 was maybe diminished. We didn't see massive protests around the country this time around like we did last time. In fact, when it came to polling on certain issues, some of the things Donald Trump ran on this time around were more popular. But I get the sense here from some people that they feel like that may be changing. So we'll see what the reaction is as these protests we've started to see a daily occurrence now continue. Nichole.
Absolutely, Joe. And that's certainly not the only resistance that we are now seeing from the left, because kind of reviving a page from the Republican playbook, especially during the Obama years, Democrats are bringing back town halls in their districts. What is the goal there?
Yeah, in fact, House Democratic leaders have instructed their members to continue to have town halls. And I think what they want is what you see over here, which is you've got a lot of people that right now are clearly standing up against what they see are missteps. They're frustrated. They're not happy. And I think Democratic House leadership instructing their members to have these town halls is a message that says, let's bring people out. Let's listen to what they have to say. Let's make sure that if they're harboring grievances right now, that those are aired out so that they can, act on them and move forward, and potentially whether that leads to policy or lawsuits, something that Democratic lawmakers have said too, suing the federal government, then maybe action is taken in a sense like that.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.